My driveway is right up there on the other side of these trees, and this area has a slight slope. In fact, when you get all the way up to the road, it's the highest point on my property, and everything slowly moves downhill to the west. If I get a ton of rain, an inch or two, in a very short amount of time, that sheet of rock literally fills up like a pond. And this whole area will turn into marshland. Well, last year I started thinking about it, and I decided I wanted to keep some of that water here. I've got some grasses. I got a little bit of dirt. Yeah, it's a lot of sheets of rock. It's not very deep, but it does exist. But then it goes downhill quite rapidly. And I decided I wanted to keep as much water up here as possible. And one way to do that is with a levee. And we think about levees along rivers or along, I grew up near a levee that was partly along the river, but partly, there were train tracks on it. It was really a train trestle. So levees can be used for a variety of ways. Well, I decided to kind of do half levee and half hugelkulture. So I started off by laying down a ton of rocks. All these rocks here. I just went around here and I gathered up rocks, and I just lined them up here. And then on top of those rocks, I put cedar branches. Now, cedar doesn't decompose very well. It takes forever. That's why people like cedar fence posts, because it doesn't decompose it lasts a long time. But since I'm trying to make not a true hugelkulture mound, but a levee and, a combination, I figured, who cares? It's free wood. And so I stacked all the cedar branches up. All this entire area has a base first of rocks and then a cedar branches, plus stumps. I have spent the last, 3 or 4 years slowly cutting down trees. Now, there wasn't too many trees here. There's a ton over there, and I'm working over there. In fact, you can see my tools right now. And so, because I've been working on these trees, and I'm going to mountain cedar, ash juniper, same exact species of tree. It drinks a ton of water. So when you get rid of them, more water stays in your property, which is one reason why in certain areas I want to get rid of the trees. There is medicinal and flavoring ability of the berries and stuff, but I don't need all these trees. So after putting down all the cedar branches, I started dumping, basically, this is all hay that the goats have dropped on the ground. And I combined that with dirt that's full of rocks, full of pebbles. Here's a good example that I've been digging out of the garden because I want to replace it with better quality, compost and soil that doesn't have so many rocks in them. So I've been bringing out dirt with the pebbles and bigger rocks and dumping it on top of that, along with goat poop and rotting hay, trying to make somewhat of a levee hugelkulture mound. And so that when the rain comes here, it hits here and it will stop it. Yeah, it's going to slowly go, might not stop it super well, but it will stop it some. And of course, anything that rains over here will keep going. And this way, it's all downhill until you get to a dry creek bed, which I did a video on once after a huge amount of rain, and it became like a, fast-flowing creek for a few days, and then it dried up. But once you get to that creek bed, it's no longer my property and it starts going uphill. But in here, I'm just starting the basis of extending it. You know, I've started putting rocks and the branches right here just to continue that direction along the contour of the land. Trying to keep whatever rain we get over here, to keep it over here. Well, one thing I did last year is, I'm not sure, the goats had never bothered yucca. They'd never eaten the yucca for, how many, 10 years that I lived here. But then suddenly last year, they started eating all the yucca plants, and I was really surprised. I had a whole bunch of them, like, I don't know, 5 or 6 around the septic tank. One area had 3 or 4 plants, and then there was some scattered. They ate the flowers, they ate the stem, they ate, I don't know what you call the parts that grow up, the, I don't know, leaves or something. They ate it all, and they literally pulled it out of the ground. I mean, I found one little clump of roots that I figured it was dead. I really did think it was dead. So I brought it over here and I just threw it in the dirt here, in the mound. And I kind of positioned it in case it wasn't dead, just in case. And yeah, it survived. So I have, you know, this isn't the first transplant, first time I've ever transplanted yucca. And by the way, there's a lot of, these can be cooked. These flowers can be cooked. I can't remember what they taste like. I haven't done it myself, but I've watched videos. I think it was, I can't remember, cucumber or something. I can't remember. But those flowers are totally edible and be eaten. And these, I don't know if they're called leaves or something else. That's what the Native Americans, they used for rope making and stuff. So there's a lot of value to these plants. But over here, it doesn't look like it's survived. But obviously I have, looks like 2 plants. This one here and then this other one here with the flowers. So that I'm pretty happy about that. That, you know, it survived. It's doing well. Now recently, I harvested a bunch of dandelion flowers. If you don't know, dandelion, it has a lot of medicinal, and you can make jelly and stuff from it, but it's good stuff. I, again, never used it, but I had a bunch of dandelions in the vegetable garden. I harvest the flowers, and the seeds, I mean, and not the flowers, but the seeds. The little puffy, cottony seed pods, like, kind of like that, yeah. And I buried them. I've planted all along here. So we'll see if I get some dandelions growing in here. I just want nature to take over. And, you know, as I get more dirt in here and, you know, build it, I'll slowly build it up and slowly build up that direction. I have to be careful about this direction just because I got to make it so the power company can come and take care of that post. So they have to be able to drive through here. So I can extend a little bit, but not too much farther from here. I wish I could go all the way over there because there's a lot of water over here, but I can't. But this is my bed, my combination Levee Hugelkulture mound that I'm building over here, trying to keep more water in this area so I can plant other food for the goats and me maybe, wildlife maybe. But I just wanted to share with you what I'm doing over here. I started this last year. I'm pretty sure it was last year I started it, not the year before. But I know it was last year. I transplanted the yucca plant, and now I've got some couple nice healthy yucca plants growing here, and they'll get bigger. And hopefully I'll get a crop of dandelions sprouting over here. In fact, I'm under a severe thunderstorm watch at the moment, so I may get some rain. It's supposed to, I think 60% chance tomorrow. Not as big today, but we'll see. So that's how I'm using Hugelkulture and what I have available on the land, which is rocks and cedar trees, to do some earthworks to make it so hopefully I can keep more water up here and lose less water to that gravelly, rocky terrain where not a lot grows. Hope you found this interesting and hope it gets you thinking about your own property and what you can do to keep water if you need it, like I do, or move water away from structures or where it floods. Just hope this helps you think. And you have a wonderful day. And thank you for watching.